Imagine this. You're standing in a packed church, 500 people all around you, praying, chanting, singing hymns. The air is thick with smoke from candles, bodies pressed shoulder to shoulder. Everyone believes this is it, the last day, the end of the world. But what they don't realize is that every exit has already been sealed shut. The windows are nailed closed, the doors are boarded. The roof is about to go up in flames. And by the time it's over, the movement for the restoration of the 10 Commandments of God will leave behind one of the worst cult massacres in history. The story begins with two names, Credonia Marind and Joseph Kibudir. In 1989, they claimed the Virgin Mary appeared to them, delivering visions, prophecies, warnings. Their message was simple. The 10 Commandments were the only path to salvation. Break even one, and your soul was lost. But the way they carried out their religion, it was strict, extreme, and nothing like what you'd expect. Silence was considered holy. They spoke in sign language just to avoid sinning with their words. They fasted constantly. Sex was forbidden. Soap was forbidden. And when it came to AIDS, they didn't see it as an illness at all. To them, it was God's judgment, a divine punishment handed down to anyone guilty of adultery. And soon, hundreds of people were drawn in. Farmers, teachers, families. They sold everything they owned, abandoned their lives, and moved into the cult's compounds, all to prepare for one thing, the end of the world. The prophecy was set. The world would end on December 31st, 1999, and around the world, people were already nervous. The Y2K scare was everywhere. Experts and media warned that when the clocks rolled over to the year 2000, computers would fail, banks would lose their records, power grids would collapse, planes would fall straight out of the sky. It wasn't a maybe, it was expected. The modern world braced itself for catastrophe at midnight. For the cult in Uganda, however, it was the perfect storm. They twisted the fear of Y2K into something far more extreme. To them, it wasn't about computers failing or banks collapsing. It was about Judgment Day itself. At midnight, the sinners of the world would be swallowed in fire. And as for the chosen few inside the cult, they would rise above it, carried into salvation while the rest of humanity burned. So they gathered, they prayed, they waited. As the final hours of 1999 slipped away, the tension was electric. Every second felt heavier than the last. The cult packed together, whispering prayers, clutching rosaries, convinced that at any moment now, the skies would split open. Midnight wasn't just the turning of a clock, it was the end of time itself. And then, the countdown began. 10, 9, 8, hearts racing, voices rising, tears streaming down faces as the faithful braced for the fire, for the end, for salvation. 3, 2, 1. The clock struck midnight, and nothing happened. No fire, no apocalypse. The world kept spinning. For most people, that would be the end. A failed prophecy, a leader exposed, a cult collapsing, but not here. Credonia and Joseph doubled down. They told their followers God had given them a new date, a second chance, March 17th, 2000. They called it the ceremony with finality. That morning, more than 500 members filled the church in Ganungu. They sang hymns, they prayed, they celebrated the end of the world. But this wasn't salvation. It was a massacre. Because as they prayed, Leaders nailed the windows shut, boarded the doors, and then they lit the building on fire. The flames tore through the roof, smoke filled the air, people screamed, pounded on walls, clawed at locked exits, but there was no way out. By the time the fire burned itself out, the church was nothing but ash. Inside, the charred remains of more than 500 men, women, and children. The massacre shocked Uganda, but the horror wasn't finished, because in the days that followed, police started digging. At other compounds tied to the cult, they uncovered pit graves, 153 bodies in Buhunga, 155 at Rugazi, 81 in Yabugodo, and more. Many weren't burned. They'd been poisoned or stabbed, killed in secret weeks before the fire. When the digging was done, the death toll had climbed past 700. And suddenly, this wasn't just a failed prophecy. Whispers started spreading. Credonia Morende, Joseph Kibutia, the ones who promised salvation, who told hundreds of people to give up their land, their homes, their lives. They were gone. Rumors said they fled the country, that they crossed into the Congo or Malawi, that they're still alive, hiding, planning, waiting. And to this day, they've never been found. So, what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the story, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you soon at our next campfire story.